fuzzy socks. Yeah, so go ahead and grab something that you can work your hands on. Hi, Ronald, welcome back. He's back for more, another challenging session. And then we'll go ahead and get situated. Good. And if you guys position your camera as well on your workout space and you want some critique as you're working, I have you guys all on my big screen TV up here so I can see you. So if you want some coaching throughout the session, yeah, okay, Carrie with an E wants that. So I'll give her feedback as we go. Just make sure your camera is aimed in a position that I can see you. All right, let's go ahead and start laying down on the floor. Adam, do you mind muting, since you're the host still, do you mind muting Martha and Kathy and putting me on spotlight or something?
Yep, I'll do it.
Great, thanks. All right, so we'll go ahead and start laying on the ground. And let's have your, well, I'm gonna call it a ball from now on. What? Yeah, there we go, now I'm back. All right, so we're gonna just take yourselves in the big X pattern. Go ahead and get settled on the floor. And if you're already down there, you can start wiggling. Yeah, if you're already on the floor, I'm just gonna make sure everyone has an opportunity to get down on the floor before we get started. But if you're already there, you can start kind of wiggling your thighs back and forth, turning your toes towards one another and then out to the side. And there's no real right or wrong way to do this. You're just gonna wiggle, yeah. Awesome. All right, we're gonna start a little bit like we did this last week. So you're gonna have your ball in your right hand. And I want you to take your eyes and your head to your right hand and look at your ball. And then take your eyes and head to your left foot and give your left foot a particular motion that's interesting. So either wiggling your toes or winding your foot. And then bring your eyes back up to the ball and then back down towards your foot. And you're gonna be moving your eyes and your head. So you're gonna look up towards the ball and then look down towards the foot. And your foot sort of gives yourself a little wave too. Up towards the ball, down towards the foot. And by doing this, we're giving ourselves awareness of the endpoints of our body, both our hands and our foot. So that way when we're doing the rest of our Pilates, we can work through the entire system all the way from fingertip to tip of your toe. We'll do that maybe one more time. There's something sort of mesmerizing about it. Good. And then go ahead and reset your eyes kind of to the ceiling. And we're gonna take your ball and that same knee and make them touch. So bring your knee into some sort of tabletop position and the ball and your knee are gonna touch. And then we're gonna take the leg and the arm out again. Touch the ball to your knee and then touch back out. Good. Ball to knee, touch back out. And again, we're making this now relationship between two sides of our body and also upper and lower on our body, saying, okay, I've got this relationship going on between the right and the left side and the upper half and the lower half. We'll do two more. Good, and last one. Beautiful, and then release. Go ahead and switch your ball to your left hand, and we're gonna do that same thing on that other diagonal. So eyes and head go up to your left hand where the ball is, and then your eyes and head will look down towards your right foot, and you're gonna twirl your ankle a little bit or wave your toes while you look at them. And then up on the diagonal and then back down. Go ahead and do this a few more times. I'm not gonna over narrate that. Did it on the other side. Alternating between up and down. And make sure that you take a second to really focus in on either the ball or your toes with your vision. And it's not a fleeting moment, you're really making a connection there. And maybe 2 more. And last one. Then we're gonna bring the right knee into a tabletop position and bring your ball to your knee and make a relationship. So push your ball into your knee and your knee into your ball, and then back open. Touch and go. Touch and go. There you go. Good. Now, some of you guys have probably been doing Pilates for a while, so you know that drawing in with an exhale, drawing in on your navel will help you bring your limbs a little bit more easily up into that center place. Good. Hot exhale. Yep. And you're all on mute, so you can make these funny noises and no one will know. 2 more. Last one. Good. And release. Go ahead and bend your knees in so your feet are flat on the mat, and wiggle your hips around a little bit until you feel like you're sort of settled into your new position. We'll bring our hands down by your side as well, and you're going to still have that ball in your hand. Go ahead and press your hips up towards the ceiling and stand a little bit more on top of your shoulders. Yeah. Articulate your spine coming down. So we'll start at the top of the ribs and roll through the spine, mobilizing each vertebrae as you roll down to the mat. Once you get to the bottom, just unravel through your tail and almost let your butt stick out a little bit behind you. Go ahead and press the hips up and stay there for a second. Walk yourself on top of your shoulders again. Wiggle your toes, sense the ground underneath your feet. Think to yourself, okay, I'm gonna use my whole foot on the ground to help me with my bridge. I'm not gonna bias the heels or the toes or the right side or the left side. I'm gonna use my whole foot flat. And then articulating down, 1 vertebrae at a time, release your tail at the bottom. All right, go ahead and press up again. Wiggle yourself up into that nice high bridge. Maybe move your arms a little bit like you're flapping wings. And then feel your feet on the ground and articulate all the way down. So part of this is not just about getting the bridge in, doing the bridge, but also understanding how you're doing the bridge and activating some of your body awareness using the floor. So especially if you have an interesting surface underneath you, the sticky mat, or some of you maybe just on carpet, just feeling the textures underneath your arms and your feet will help you create better awareness of your body. And then go ahead and roll back down. We're gonna add some shoulder mobility with it, all right? So go ahead and press into your bridge and hold. We're gonna make a snow angel up with the arms. See if you can get to a point where you can pass the ball to your other hand and circle the arms back down to your side. Articulate the spine all the way down. Good. Press the hips up. Snow angel, the arms up towards your ears. Pass the ball to the other hand, and then circle the arms down and articulate your body down. Nice. Again, press the hips up. Snow angel, pass the ball, bring it down, and roll through. So we're getting nice shoulder mobility with our bridge. I love the multitasking here. Arms up, pass, down, and roll. Good. 2 more, please. Press up, pass, articulate down. Very nice. Last one. Press up, pass, down, articulate down, and release out. Nice job. We're going to separate our feet a little bit wider than your mat, or what your mat would be. Let your knees fall off to one side, and so that you get this big stretch through one of your hips, maybe the more open hip. And then we're going to bring our knees to the other side and get a little stretch in that other hip. Go ahead and rotate to the original side. Now, whichever side your knees are pointing, we're gonna look away from that side and stretch your arm out. Take your knees over to the other side And rotate your head and your eyes maybe to your other hand. Good. We're just gonna go through that a few times. You can maybe take your hands out in a T and take your eyes from one hand, swivel them over and look at your other hand. One hand, swivel over with the knees and look at the other side. So turning the head in opposition with the rest of your body. Think of this as wringing out your spine like you would wring out a towel. One more time. And release out. Nice work. We're going to go ahead and bring your ball up towards the ceiling with both hands. Now, before we get into the actual exercise, again, it's all about awareness. So what is your baseline? So that way when I'm giving you your cues, you can understand, oh, does that apply to me or not? So with a ball up overhead, notice how your spine is laying down on the mat. Do you have a lot, a little, or no space in your low back? Do you have a lot, a little, or no space maybe in your mid back? For ladies, that would be like where your bra strap clasp would be. And maybe even in your upper back. Do you have a lot, a little, or no space on the floor? There's no right or wrong at this point. It's just what is it currently? So then go ahead and tilt your pubic bone, your pelvis, away from your nose so that you create a lot of space underneath your back between you and the floor. And then draw your pubic bone in, press your belly button down towards your spine so that you create no space between you and the floor. Open up the pelvis so that you create a lot of space, and then flatten out your back and have no space. Yep, we're gonna do that a few more times. So the pelvis is just rocking forward and rocking back. And I'm hoping that when you make the no space situation happen, you feel your abdominals tighten up a little bit. Good, and just like everything else in your lives, when you're working out and doing your movement, I want it to be exaggerated. Go more than you think you need to go. And maybe that will land you exactly where I want you, right? So go ahead and find your no space situation. We're gonna bring your ball up overhead so that you're framing your ears with your biceps, and then bring your ball back over your chest. Now, as you bring the arms up overhead, can you keep the no space situation in your low back? Can you keep your low back and your mid back and your upper back fully pressed into the ground, even though your arms are moving through space? That's core control, right? Can you keep control of your trunk as your limbs move around in space? Good, 3 more. And maybe 2 more. And last one. Beautiful. And then release. You can put your ball down for now. Place your hands down by your side. Go ahead and tilt your pelvis again, forward and back. And I'm just showing with my hands if you need that visual. So I'm making a lot of space. Maybe you're gonna put your hands, see if you can put your hands in underneath your back. Check yourself. Be like, am I actually doing what I think I'm doing by creating space back there? Or am I just sort of doing it in my head? Yeah, good. And then make that no space situation happen. So pressing all the way into the floor, bring one leg into tabletop and then bring the other leg into tabletop. And now we have core activation for sure. Are you still pressed into the mat? I hope so. Dorsiflex your feet for me so that you're active all the way down to the end part of your body. We're gonna take the right heel and reach it down towards the floor, tap the ground and pull your leg back into tabletop. Good. As you're working through these little marches, go ahead and do the other side, alternating. As you're doing these little marches, can you keep yourself imprinted into the floor? So you're not shifting, your torso is not affected at all by this change that's happening in the legs, similar to what we did with the arms. Very good. We'll do 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Bring the feet down. and release. Nice job. From here, place your hands behind your head and traction up the back of your neck a little bit. So it's almost as if you're pulling, maybe pulling the hair that's on your base, the base of your hairline. You're sort of pulling that skin in that area up towards the crown of your head. Up towards the crown of your head. And you can give yourself a little kind of massage here. We did this last week in the meditation where you sort of push the skin and the fluid up towards the crown of your head. Good. Place your right hand on behind your neck, so much so that your fingers sort of pop out on the left side, sort of like you could tickle your left ear with your fingers. We're gonna pull the skin back to the right now as you rotate your eyes and your head to your right elbow. Very good. Go ahead and do that a few times. I'm just gonna sit up and show you what I'm talking about in case you're still having a little bit of trouble understanding that. So I'm taking the skin here and pulling it across as you look towards your elbow. We'll just do that 3 times total on the right side. We're just giving ourselves a little massage on the back of the neck, essentially pulling all that tissue over to the other side. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So bring your left hand behind so your fingers are kind of tickling your right earlobe. Pull the skin across and look towards your right elbow. This is a really great technique to give yourself neck mobility that's important for if you're about to get in the car and you want to make sure that you have good neck mobility for merging or lane changing. Maybe one more of those. Good, nice work. Go ahead and bring yourself into the biggest X pattern again. Big X pattern. So we're gonna press down into the floor so that you create a lot of space between you and the floor. And then drag pull your pubic bone towards your nose, your belly button into the spine. And that's gonna start to draw your limbs in. So you come into the smallest ball you can. Let's lift your head and shoulders off the mat too. Good. So I call this big and small. So we're gonna get as big as possible. Big stretch, arch off the floor. You're having a temper tantrum on the floor, and then we draw the navel in, curl the spine, pull your belly in, nice and tight. That's it. We're just gonna go through that a few more times. Don't feel like you need to wait for me or keep up with me. Just moving in and out through your big movement and your small movement. And you guys know, of course, make yourself bigger than you think you need to. Yeah, and smaller than you think you need to. Try to take yourself that extra inch. 2 more. And last one. What happens if you make yourself big and then small laying on your side? So there's this wrapping that happens and you turn to your side in fetal position. And then make yourself as big as possible on your back. Big body yawn, stretch, stretch, stretch. Roll to the other side, make yourself as small as possible. And as big as possible, slide the feet out. Good, get creative. Imagine you're this amoeba that's rolling around in space. That's it, Carrie, nice. There you go, Martha, get really, really big and close. Really big. Deborah, looking good. Expand those legs, expand them. There you go, and then roll. Awesome. One more time. Go ahead and finish on your side facing the screen so you can see what comes next. Go ahead and finish on your side. And we're just gonna rock. Rock here. You can make a pillow with your head. Some people are still gonna get situated, but we're gonna rock. Almost as if you're gonna roll forward on your face and then rock back. Good. Last two. And one. Very nice. Take your top leg and stretch it out long. We're gonna take your top arm and reach it up as well. So biceps on your ear. You can have this bottom knee bent if you need to. Yeah. We're gonna bring your top arm and top hand together to make a connection, a relationship, and then stretch your arm and leg out long. Yep, top arm and top leg, and big stretch out long. Good. Now, if you're really going for it, elbow to knee. Can you bring your elbow to your knee? Make them touch. There we go. Good. How about we keep that knee open towards the ceiling? So you're going to show the inner part of your thigh. That's it, Deborah. Nice. Good. And up. Beautiful. This is called side lizard. You don't have to remember the names, but if you're that type of person, there it is. Four more. Excuse me. 3. 2. And last one. Good. Stretch the leg out long. We're going to take your front hand and push down on the floor to help you sit up. Really smooth transition. You should finish something that looks like this. And then bring yourself back down. Don't get comfortable because it's in the transition. Big stretch overhead with that arm. The hand comes down in front. We push off the ground and bring ourselves to sit. Good. Slide back down. How seamless can you make that transition from laying on your side, pressing all the way up to sit? Extra challenge. Can you do that without placing your hand on the floor? So instead of pushing off the floor, can you lift up and push? And down. There you go, Carrie. Nice job. We're going to add a little side stretch to the straight leg at the top of that. Up and over. Good. Bring it back. All the way down. All the way up. Good. My favorite type of Pilates is actually the transition in between the Pilates exercises. Awesome. Last one. We'll finish seated with the legs stretched out. Good. Just going to center myself up again. So we're still sitting here. If this position is challenging, grab a pillow, put it underneath your butt, and give yourself a little booster seat. Okay? So if you need a little pillow to make the movement more accessible, here we are. Yeah? All right. So we're going to do it finish and pretend like we didn't stop, right? Finish right here. Yep. You're going to take your free hand. You're going to take your down hand and wrap it across your rib cage. Pull that rib cage in so that the base of your sternum, your belly button, looks towards your knee. And we're going to reach towards the toe. Yep. Bring yourself back open into your side stretch. We're going to cartwheel. This is where we're going to land on both hands, facing away from your stretched out leg. And find a little bit of extension. So lifting your chest, sliding the shoulders out of your ears, reaching through the crown of your head. Rotate back towards me. We're going to cartwheel, counter stretch. Grab onto those ribs. Rotate the torso so that the sternum, your belly button, looks towards your knee. Open back up. Cartwheel over. This is your Little Mermaid on the beached rock, right? Like she's like, what is that, Ariel with the wave behind her and everything? Up and over, side stretch, add the rotation, belly button to the knee. Unrotate, cartwheel over, and last time through with that Little Mermaid extension. You can be up on the fingertips for this one. You don't have to have a flat hand. Very nice, good. While we're here, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Let's work on the transition, laying back down. So we're going to slide ourselves out. Yep. Let me get that out of the way. Good. Hand comes in front. Pull yourself up. And you can add that side bend right away. Yep. Sliding out. Again, it's in the transition, right? Up and over. Try to do it without your hand pressing. There you go. You got to push off this bottom leg. This bent knee has got to help out a little bit. Nice run. Get there. Good. Awesome. Last two. Yep. And last one. Good. Come all the way down for me. We got to do our side lizard on this side. So remember that bottom knee can be straight or bent. We're going to go hand to knee and out, hand to knee and out, or hand to or knee to elbow. And we're trying to open up your thigh so your knee is pointing towards the ceiling. This is the mobility that you might need if you went into, say, a really deep squat, like you wanted to pick something off the floor. You gotta sit your butt down, bend your knees all the way in. Hint, hint, we might do some later. Last two. Yeah, last one, and then you guys know the drill. We're gonna pull ourselves up, no hands if you can. Side stretch over the top. Now we add this little rotation. Take your bottom hand, grab onto your ribs, help yourself rotate, belly button to knee. Yep, unrotate, cartwheel over. Hands will come onto the ground and find your little mermaid stretch. Open up the chest, reaching through the crown of your head. Unrotate, cartwheel over. Side stretch first. Then wrap and rotate, belly button to knee. Yep. Unrotate, cartwheel over. Find your little mermaid pose. She's on the rock. The wave is behind her. You guys know the Disney movie. Up and over. Inhale. Rotate. Unrotate. Cartwheel over. Last one. Find your little bit of extension. There you go. Nice, guys. And bring it on home. Go ahead and sit crisscross applesauce. Again, if you need that pillow underneath your hips, sometimes that makes this a little bit more accessible. This position. Good. Everyone getting comfortable. Oh, I was fixing my hair, Ron, but I like that too. That's why my hands were up. I'm fixing my hair. I love that. I go to fix my hair and everyone goes. Go ahead and bring your arms out in front. This one. So right here, we're going to pull a bow and arrow. We're going to pull the left elbow back, pull the left shoulder back, and then take your eyes past your elbow. Bring your eyes back forward, bring your elbow forward, your shoulder forward, and your hand forward. And let's go ahead and make fists. Squeeze an imaginary, well, hey, we could have a ball here. Let's do that. We don't need to be imaginary here. We can actually do it for real. So let's have the ball in your right hand. We're going to pull across. Eyes go behind you. Center your eyes, center your hand. Here we go. Pass the ball over to your left hand. Now, when we rotate, I want you to weight shift a little bit. So you're going to weight shift over into your left butt bone, your sit bone. Rotate and pull that bow and arrow, still reaching forward with your hands. And return and come back. Switch to the other side. We're going to weight shift over to your left hip, right hip. I'm opposite of you guys. Pull back, look behind you, and return forward. Couple more. Weight shift, pull, center, weight shift, pull, and center. Last one, weight shift, pull. We have to do one more to even out. Sorry, one more time. Weight shift and pull. Good. And then release. Shake out those shoulders. All right, little challenge. Can you keep your feet like this and rock forward onto hands and knees? And then rock back. And then we're going to switch it. So other side crisscross. Can you rock forward onto hands and knees? And rock back and switch it. Good. Rock forward onto hands and knees. Rock back and switch it. If that doesn't feel right, see if you can cross the legs behind you and transition to hands and knees. And maybe swing the legs off to the side and sit back. So different ways of transitioning from a seated position to your hands. Think of yourself as a baby and they're like playing on the floor and then they're like, oh, I want that toy. I want that one over there. How might said baby go up into a crawling position? Yeah. Playing with different ways to do that. Let's finish in a hands and knees position fully. Good. Go ahead and tuck your toes so that the pads of your feet are on the floor. And if you need to reach back and make that happen, we can do that. Like I've got a funky pinky toe that sometimes needs a little bit of assistance getting in there. Good. And Kathy, if this doesn't feel right, you can go flat-footed, okay? We're gonna shift forward over your wrists and shift back over your heels. As you guys are working through this, we're working to keep a nice flat back. So especially when the hips shift back, try not to let your tail tuck underneath you or your back round. Keep yourself nice and flat. Your eyes are up, you're ready to go. Again, you're that baby, you're like, oh man, I really want that toy, but I don't know how to crawl yet, but I really, really want it. But you're ready to go. You're getting it going. We're gonna go for 4 more rocks, 3 more rocks, 2, and last one. Nice work. Go ahead and bring it back. We're gonna come into a tall kneeling position just on your knees. Nice. Let's grab your ball again for that bow and arrow. Same thing, we're just now on knees instead of sit bones, right? So holding onto your ball here, we're gonna pull back with the left elbow, rotate behind you with your eyes. This time you could probably rotate a little bit more because the hips are more free to move, yeah? And then bring the hand forward, swap your hand. Weight shift into the right knee, rotate and reach behind you. Bring it back forward, pass the ball. Weight shift into your left knee, rotate back. Center, weight shift into your other knee. I'm gonna stop narrating because I think you guys get the gist. And there's some people that are moving faster and maybe a little bit more at their own pace than I am. Don't want to confuse anyone. But make sure that you're preceding your rotation with a weight shift. That's super important. Weight shift and rotate. Good, you're always gonna weight shift into the thigh that you're moving towards. Last one. Good, and release, beautiful. Go ahead and bring your left foot forward. Nice. We're just gonna take the ball underneath our knees and then bring the ball up overhead. I know I cut out my frame, but we're just gonna pass the ball in between the legs and up. In between the legs and up. And sometimes this may take, we can get a little bit energetic in it and lean forward and lean back. And lean forward and lean back. Can you reverse the direction that you're moving your circles? Yes. Pass it in the other direction. Good. This takes balance, hip mobility. Nice job. Keeping that chest up. 2 more. And last one. Great job. Go ahead and replace that foot down. We're going to do the same thing kind of on the other side. You ready? Pass under, lift up, pass under, lift up. Nice work. Yeah. Can you reverse the direction of your pass? Nice job. Good. Big stride. Carry with an E. Can you stride your front foot more forward? So you have a bigger length. You have a wider stance there. There you go. 2 more. And last one. Amazing. Nice job. Go ahead and replace your foot back in. We can get rid of that ball for a second here. All right. We're going to come down to the mats. Again, hands and knees. Take your right foot out behind you. Make sure you don't knock into anything. Right foot out behind you and keep that knee. You can plant your foot down. And then go ahead and bring that knee back in and we're going to go to the other side. Other side, alternating right and left, just stretching the leg out behind you. We are getting ready to come into a plank. So start preparing your arms and your core and your feet and your legs to accept the load. We're gonna do 2 more. And last one, hold the leg out there, whichever one you're on. Good. Push the ground away from your shoulders with your shoulders, your hands. Can you float the other foot and match it? Awesome. Hold, hold, hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Bring it on up to high kneel. Interlace your fingers and roll out your wrists. Nice. Ron, did we get it? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Did we get it? Or a thumbometer? Thumbs up. Good. Okay. I just couldn't see your knees. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Round 2. Yeah. Bring it down. 1 foot out. Other foot out and hold. Hold. Push the ground away. Push the ground away. Push the ground away. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Shake out the wrists. We're going to interlace the fingers and go roller coaster wrist. All right, so planks are there. We're going to add some spiciness to our planks, if you'd like it, if you like spiciness. If not, you can always just hold your plank, okay? Here we go. Bring it on down again. 1 foot out, other foot out. Good. We're just going to tap the foot out to the side and bring it center. Tap the foot out to the side and bring it center. Tap the foot out and bring it center. Tap the foot out and bring it center. Nice, Adam. Bring it out and center. Out and center. We got 1 more on each. Yes. And last one. Knees down. Release. Good. Flick the fingers. Give your wrist a little break. Nice job. Planks are super important. Good for core strength, shoulder strength. We're going to do 1 more set. Again, you can always just hold your plank. No big deal. We're going to add another bit of spiciness. Bringing the knees in, okay? So like a little march in your plank. Adam, you can do like a spider push-up if you want. Here we go, legs out. Good. You're just gonna pull the knee in and replace it back. Pull the knee in and replace it back. So Adam would be like, pull the knee and push up. There you go. Good work, ladies and gentlemen, nice job. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, knees down. We're gonna take our wrists, our palms towards the ceiling and give ourselves a little stretch forward. So the palms are up. I can like twinkle my fingers and stretch forward. Nice job. Good. All right, come on up to high kneeling again. Make sure you have some space side to side. We're gonna move a little bit laterally. Bring your arms out to the side. Slide the ribs over to the left, maybe your left, and then slide yourself over to the right. Good. So this translation of your body is different than side bending. So we're not crunching the side, we're just sort of shifting. And shift. Yeah, and shift. And shift, like someone's pulling on you. Yeah, very nice. Good. We're gonna shift over to the left. And we're gonna balance a little bit more on the left knee, so much so that maybe you could lift your right knee. And then come on down, so bring your hands to the mat and lift your left leg up toward the, your right leg up toward the ceiling. What? Nice. Bend the bottom elbow, lift your body up, replace yourself back. A little teeter-totter. Over to the other side. Shift to the right, balance on the right, lift up your left leg. If you're feeling saucy, we'll straighten it out. You guys feeling saucy? There we go. Pull it back in, lift, and center. Awesome. We're getting into some intermediate level work here. With that balance, how long can you balance before you need to bring the knee down? Other side. Shift, balance, 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 balance. Kick the leg. Good. Fold the leg in, lift through. Whoa, that was too quick for me. See if you can go slower. We're gonna come out to the left and stay there. So come on down. Yep. Kick the leg out. Straight. We're gonna tap the foot and lift the foot. Tap and lift. Good. Deborah, can you do a straight leg? No? Okay. Yeah, you can do it just with a bent knee, just lifting and lowering. Good. Down, down. Awesome. 4 more. 3. That's it, Ron. Open up your chest. 2. And last one. Here we go. Tuck it in. Balance. Land. Slice over to the other side. Here we go. Side shift. Kick. Lift and lower. 10. 9. 8. 7. Or you can do it with a bent knee. 6. 5. Hips forward. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Bend the elbow. Float. Balance. Balance. Good. And release. Nice job. Woo. Should have hopefully maybe got the hips a little bit. Yeah? All right. We're going to stand up just on our knees. Bring the arms up towards the ceiling. Imagine someone's pulling you up. Let your shoulders lift towards the ears and let your ribs expand. From here, we're going to roll down sequentially, one vertebrae at a time, reaching the arms forward, landing your hands maybe where you would for a hands and knees work. Shift your weight forward, come into an extended position, so the cow part of your cat-cow maybe. And then tuck the tail, set the hips back. Launch your arms forward around your biceps and bring yourself all the way up to that tall kneeling position again. This is called cat stretch. This is called cat stretch. So we're gonna go up as if someone's pulling you. Round the spine, draw your navel in, land with your hands on the mat, shift forward, come into a little bit of that extension. Stick your booty out, stick your chest out. Yep, tuck the tail, launch the arms forward, round the spine, hips come forward, bring yourself all the way up. Good. And we're gonna try not to use momentum or feel like we need to climb up the legs, all right? So we're using our abdominals by tucking the tail underneath. Here we go, a couple more. Round forward, shift forward. Make sure you shift back far enough, tuck the tail, so that you can come up a little bit easier. There you go, Carrie, was that better? Roll down, shift forward, shift back, tuck the tail, round your spine, tuck that tail, tuck the tail, tuck the tail. Good, awesome. Last one, we're gonna really work for the articulation, the mobility of the spine. Shift forward, shift back, make sure you tuck your tail underneath you. Peel on up. Nice job. Good. Awesome. Cross your feet behind you when you finish. You're gonna wait for everyone to get there. There we go. Nice, Deborah, looking good. Yeah, perfect. Cross the feet over and then go ahead and take a seat or somehow get on your bum. Somehow get on your bum. Legs out in front. Let's squeeze the thighs together and point your toes. And bring your arms up on the sort of diagonal. Make sure you have some space behind you because we're gonna roll down onto our back. Yeah, there you go, scooch forward. So right here, we're gonna drop off the back of the sit bones and peel back, lowering yourself down to the floor, one vertebrae at a time, and then reach your arms up overhead. Snow angel, the arms down around by your sides. Place the hands in the small of your back. So there's some space maybe behind your low back. Place your hands right there, palms down. From here, chin to chest, start to roll yourself up. Press your back into your hands and your hands into the floor to help you roll up nice and easy. Good. Awesome. Now, if you keep your thighs connected and your feet connected and pointed, you may have a more successful chance of slowing down the movement for yourself, okay? So squeeze the thighs, point the toes, try to connect your big toes together. Roll yourself down, nice and slow. Work against gravity, work against gravity. There you go, there you go. Just bring the arms up, circle the arms around, bring them into the small of your back. Chin to chest, chest to ribs, ribs to belly. Push through the hands to help you sit up. Squeeze your thighs, toes are pointed. There we go. That was better for some of you, nice. We're gonna do a couple more. I'm gonna let you work at your own pace, okay? Because some of you wanna work a little bit quicker than me. Reach, up and around, circle around. There we go, use your arms on the floor. Last two. Good, last one. Up, circle, hands in the small of your back. When you're finished with your last one, just meet me up in your seated position. Nice. All right, we're gonna separate our feet about mat width apart, and we're also gonna bend our knees. If this position is hard, again, you can put a pillow underneath your bum. Give yourself some grace for those hamstrings. All right, arms out into a T, please. We're gonna rotate to the left. Slice forward with your hand to slice off your left pinky toe, or grab onto your left pinky toe. And then look behind you to your left hand. Bring yourself back to where we came from. I know, we're like coiling you like a pretzel. Rotate to the right. Slice off that right pinky toe. And look back at your right hand. Awesome, yeah. And then bring yourself on up. So this is called saw. We're sawing off our toes. Rotate, slide forward and reach. Look behind you as if someone's pulling on your hands behind you. Bring yourself back up. Inhale. Love-hate relationship with this one. Rotate and reach. Inhale at the top. Exhale. So you can squeeze all that air out. Bring yourself out like a sponge. Good. One more time on each. Inhale. Rotate and reach. Inhale. Rotate and reach. Last one, inhale, rotate and reach. I know I said two more, but we got to even out, right? Good, and then bring it on up. Nice work. So right here, we're gonna swing our legs off to one side. Use your hands to help you come into a kneeling position. And then set your hips off to the right side. So your feet are on the left there. And then we're gonna use your hands to help you come back up to tall kneel and shift yourself off to the left side. Now, see if you can do that with less and less hand support. Coming up from the floor and dropping down. If you're tempted to use your hands, you can clasp them together or hold your ball even, so that it's not quite as tempting to come down and up from the floor. Yeah, nice. Very good. Yep, and if the ground feels like it's really far away, you can use your hands or give yourself a little pillow so that you have almost like this boost. You're like a little bit lifted off the floor, so you don't have quite as far to come down to or quite as far to lift off of. Yeah, good. You may need two pillows, or you can do a couple on one side and then switch it. Nice, good. I'm gonna do a couple more because I know some of you guys are just getting situated with your pillow. If you haven't already switched your pillow side, switch your pillow side. Yep. This is great mobility. Yep. This can tie into your floor score. Floor score is how many times do you need your hands on the floor in order to get up off the floor. You want your floor score to be as close to 0 as possible. Good, okay, we're gonna finish up with that one. Good, hold at the top. Separate your knees quite a bit. And we're gonna rotate. See if you can pop one foot through. You're gonna maybe need to widen out your feet quite a bit. For those of you that know Z-sit, this is gonna turn into a Z-sit, yeah? There you go, Carrie, yeah? All right, and then if you need a booster, go ahead and put that behind you and then take a seat. Yeah, we'll get everyone on the same page. So this is called a Z-sit with the shin in front and the shin on the side. Now we're gonna use your hands or not, to help you come back up into sort of this tall kneeling position, but the shin is forward. Let's see it. Got half of you on board. Yeah, nice. And then back down. Yeah, use your arms if you need to. Use your hands. Use your hands. Come on up. Good. And then back down. Then if you want to take your hands, distract your hands, you can use your ball. Nice. If you're feeling really fancy, you might hold a weight. Yeah. Last one. Awesome. So we're expanding our strategies. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. We're expanding our strategies of getting on and off the floor to more than just one method, okay? We wanna have lots of methods lots of strategies in our toolbox, okay? Either start with no hands or start with your hands. So we're gonna come forward and then press your hips open and then back down. There you go. Press your hips forward and back down. Deborah, I like that version. Stick with that. Do that. You're doing great. That's where it starts. Yep. Oh, she's almost all the way up. All right, you guys, we'll do about 4 more. 3 more. Okay. 2. And last one. Nice job. Good. Go ahead and finish on your knees in some way. So figure out a way that you're going to get to your knees if you haven't already. And we're going to tuck our toes. Now, if you have a tendency to fall backwards, you may want to do this with your feet facing a wall. So that way, if you do fall backwards, you can fall into the wall. But we're going to have our hands on the floor. Float your knees up. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Keep your weight forward on your toes as you bring yourself up to stand. Keep the weight forward on your toes. Good. We're going to do that a few times. Bringing yourself down. Walk your hands out. Bring your knees down to the mat. Good. So again, another strategy, how to get down and up from the floor. Hands down, push your hips up. Walk back. Stay on the toes as you bring yourself forward. Good. And down. We'll do that 2 more times. Yeah. Hike the hips up. Walk back. Bear crawl back. Stay on the toes. Bring yourself up. Nice and slow because you don't want to get that little head rush, yeah? Nice, Deborah. Good. Last one. Lift the hips up, walk back, and bring yourself up to stand. Nice job. Good. Go ahead and give yourself a walk around the room. And just let your body kind of shake out. We just did a lot of movement, a lot of weird stuff maybe you've never done before. So bringing it back to something familiar. Good. And then go ahead and stand with your feet in your normal stance position. Roll the shoulders open a little bit. Let your arms be shaky, jiggly. Yeah. And if it feels right to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If it doesn't feel right, you can keep them open. And after a nice bout of movement, your body should have this, what's called postural sway. So postural sway is your body's ability to absorb and redistribute forces in your body so that your energy is never really stagnant because stagnant energy is hard to redisperse. So if you don't have natural postural sway, giving your body some postural sway by shifting right and left or forward, back on your foot. Might help if you unlock your knees. And so again, sometimes you might get sticky in your feet when you're starting to do your walk, giving yourself a moment to settle, a little postural sway, and then you can go again and try stepping out from your stance. Take a deep breath in, wiggle out the ribs, and exhale down. Nice job. I know I went a little bit kind of over the 55 mark. We're going to take a quick bio break.